did you have like a background in music that got you interested in being an artist management, or how did that get started for you?
Okay, so actually my background is in business. Okay. I went to school for political science, and then I switched my major quickly to business administration. After that, I worked in corporate for 6 years, and I acquired a lot of good skills, I should say, working in business management and coordination of different things. However, just, working for people is a whole different thing, and at the end of the day, when you're in a corporate level, you're exerting so much brain power, so much physical power, that you're going home like not being able to cut that day off. You still have to worry about the things that you're taking home that are other people's problems, essentially.
Right. Problems that they cause that you gotta fix.
Problems that that they cause that you have to fix now, that you can't even get no peace about because it's really not your issue, but someone's asking you and paying you to fix it. That just wasn't something that I wanted to do. Meanwhile, I'm wasting all this time and energy and it's just all this, genius, making someone else rich.
Absolutely.
And so
making their company grow.
For them to give you literally maybe 0.5% of what they're bringing in every year, if that, And so I was just done with it. I ended up having 2 kids, and then I was a stay-at-home mom. But all of that, kind of was like, okay, I could do this, but I need to work. I need to do something. But going to work for someone by someone else's rules and standards, accepting what they were willing to give me for whatever I had to do for them, it just was out of the picture. I'm really big on being able to spend time with my kids and just being able to be there for them, So one thing, so I had the business background. My mom has a master's in business administration, but my father gave me music, my parents were taking me to DMX and Jay-Z concerts in the 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? Music has always been a huge part of my culture, my life. My father was one of the people that go to music festivals by himself, just feeling and being a part, being one with the culture. And I've always loved that. Music always has motivated me. Music just brings me out of everything. I can have the hardest workload. I turn on some music and I'm just, I love music. I can sit somewhere and vibe out to some music by myself too, in a place full of crowded people. So my dad just passed 2 years ago. So shortly after that, somebody asked me to start doing interviews, right? I'm like, all right, cool. I start interviewing more and more people, and I found out I could actually do a bit more than this, because I was still even being limited to whatever workload that they were giving me, which wasn't very much because they weren't too motivated to continue to work. And so it frustrated me because I'm like, what are y'all doing? Yeah. Y'all gonna light my fire, get me started, and then y'all don't even want to continue?
Absolutely. So your drive is really go, go, go. You need someone to match you, basically.
And somebody lit that fuse, and I've been nonstop ever since. I had an artist, a woman artist, a female rapper. I hate saying female, but a woman who was a rapper, and we went far very fast. And what I've noticed is a lot of times when you tap into different things because you want to be there, everybody might not be ready for it, or might not know what's all entitled. They might not have a budget included. They might not even just mentally. It's a whole different situation, and I'm learning all of this, And so after that chapter ended with my first artist, I began to curate shows, do events, open mics. I have a school tour as well. We just finished this school year out with 60 schools, which it's a low number for us because we're usually at 80 to 100 schools per year. But this school year it started off slow with the water crisis and everything in the beginning of the school year. So I just submerged myself into different management positions to see what would work, what would make a paycheck, what would create a sustainable, living situation.
Right. Yeah.
So under your diamond management, so under that umbrella, do you have music artists and other creatives as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I manage 2 artists. Young Fule, who is out. His project Demon is out now everywhere on every streaming, platform. I am managing another artist named Rich Overnight Dollar, who is a rapper as well, and we're kind of taking steps from the bottom up with this one, because while Young Fule was a more, I want to say, established artist, Rich Overnight Dollar was he was played by his former management, I should say. I don't want to, just keep it 100. He was played, and there's a lot of that going on, People are doing funny things with copyrights and all that type of stuff. Anyways, so yeah, the 2 artists I manage are rappers. Then I manage a podcast, which airs every Friday night from the Detroit Foundation Hotel, the Barry White Jesus Show. Then I actually just got on air myself every Thursday.
That Black Magic.
Yes, Black Magic every Thursday on 88.1 FM. We're tackling everyday topics, but from just like a pro-Black perspective, because a lot of times we as people tend to hold each other to standards of another culture or other races. You're like, well, white people don't act like this, or that's ghetto because they don't do this, and I don't care. I can't speak for them. They not my people, So I don't necessarily, I'm not pressed to cater to anybody that don't look like me, basically.
Okay.
And so that's where the idea of that came from. But also for me to be able to speak as a person, because a lot of times you're I don't want to say silenced, but you just don't want to just go running off at the mouth about every and anything whenever you get a chance, because it just does not go well with being a business owner, and I just desperately needed somewhere to be a person for once, speak out. So aside from that, so we've got the school tour, my 2 artists, the radio station and podcast, and then I do occasionally, maybe 2 to 3 times a year, we do a huge showcase called City Life Showcase, which is part 3 is going to be coming up soon. I haven't came up with a date yet, but I just want it to be bigger, and everything that I do, I want to be able, I don't even care about making money off this stuff, like for real, these events and different things like that. It's about the opportunity, because I've made my connections. I've made a decent amount of connections that would change someone if they acted right, I should say, And so I try to tell my artists, like, I'm the pizza delivery man. Like, you make the pizza and I'll just deliver it, because there's people hungry out here, but you got to make it first, and I'll deliver it, and it's no problem, we're good. But it becomes a part of, okay, how much the pepperonis cost, how long it got to be in the oven, I don't know if I got enough cheese, I'm not feeling good, I might not be able to make this dough the right way, it need to be shaped.
Okay, so as a manager, what would you say your duties are versus the artist's duties are? Can you address that?
Absolutely. So typically when I am consulting with artists as well, I have created a pamphlet, an artist management system, and that goes over all of your responsibilities as an artist and everything you can expect from me as a manager. So when we start on that, it starts on the artist side. All of your business stuff, there's a checklist. Do you have all your social medias in line? Do you have a team to push out everything that you're, somebody to run your Twitter account, your social medias, all those different things? You have to have a team that is backing you, that I can manage and tell them what to do. Because ultimately, established artists will have this, along with a budget that will propel them to go forward, but my duties as a manager, what I kind of boil everything down to, reading your contracts, making sure that you get the best possible outcome out of every situation, making sure all the money is right, if there's money involved, which hopefully, 9 times out of 10 there is. sometimes there just isn't those in exchange for services. And we have to make sure that all of that is fulfilled on both ends. I do a bit of promotions on my page, which got me, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, I need a manager. But the thing about it is I do what I do because I want to, not because it's in a manager's scope of responsibility.
Right.
And so a lot of times people are getting things confused because they think a manager is an investor. They think a manager is a promoter. They think a manager is a booking agent. And we're not. There's your business manager and your touring manager. Those are two different things even in itself that, you know, people want to expect out of one person.
Yeah, I think that, cause like even for me, I don't know about for you, but like when I think of a manager, I'm thinking, okay, a manager does everything.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then the artist shows up, you know what I mean? And then,
Yeah,
know,
everybody
that's it.
thinks that.
So I think that, you know, like you said, there needs to be some clarity.
Yeah, set the record.
Everybody thinks that because typically what they will do now, you'll have people that will call themselves a business manager and they will present you with a number. Like, I'm willing to spend this amount on you if you do X amount of, you know, work. And that's fine, but that doesn't come along very often unless you've already got a huge buzz going for yourself. And what we call those people are sharks, you know, and, you know, they take it out of the pond, do whatever they want to do to, you know, their fish. And, you know, if it works, it works. Some people don't make it. And I like to keep everything based upon what you can provide yourself as an artist, because half of my work is already done with my connections and my relationships. And like I said, if you make that pizza right, it'll be delivered and they're gonna eat it, you know? But where all this extra money comes in and all this extra everything comes in is when you don't really have talent and you have to pay for all the additionals. And that's fine, you know what I'm saying? Create yourself a life, but it's a much different thing from having someone to invest all the money into you or having to invest the money into yourself and work hard, because ultimately hard work does, you know, overshadow talent. You know, it just is what it is. And so it's like, does your hard work come from actually hustling and pushing yourself, or does your hard work just come from putting money out there? There's just so many different avenues to go about it, but people have to organically find who is for them, because I'll have people straight up super talented, ambition out of this world, work ethic crazy, but have no money. And I'm like,
You ain't gonna be able to move.
Yeah, like, so I gotta pay for this performance, so I gotta give you gas money, so I gotta pay for that too. Like, it becomes you become a burden. Yeah, a child. And now some people will take that risk if they feel like there's an ultimate payoff. But you're gonna be taking those risks for a good maybe 2 to 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years, even longer. There's tons of artists that have been shelved for a while to come back and actually have made it. But then it was like 7 or 8 years later we hear about these people, you know, and that's just not what I'm in for right now. I'd like to have an artist that has potential, talent, ambition, and we can work on a budget together, because if I believe in you, I'm gonna put something into you just as if you would be putting it into yourself, as in anybody would in anything that they like or want. They're gonna invest in it.